Hello and welcome. Today I'm going to show you how to get the Khvostov auto rifle, which has returned not just as a legendary weapon but also as an exotic. So first we're going to go over how to get the legendary version because you do have to do that, and then we're going to go over how to get the exotic version. Two things before I start: make sure you have space in your inventory. You are going to get keys to drop, and if you don't have space, I don't know where they're going to go. And if you have the legendary Khvostov, or once you do get it, make sure you don't delete it, since at the moment it is disabled to rebuy from collections. I'm going to go over how to get the legendary Khvostov first, but if you already own it, you can just skip to this time on the screen to learn how to get the exotic Khvostov. Alright, first you're going to go to the Pale Heart, open up the map. And these little icons that you see on the map are the golden chests. You're gonna have to collect all 9 of them. There are 3 golden chests in the landing, in the blooming, and in the end pass, so 9 total. And once you open these chests, they're actually gonna drop a resource or a key that you're gonna need later on. They are pretty easy to find, so if you want to go look for them on your own, you are more than welcome to. I am just going to include some little video clips to show you exactly each of the locations in case you just want to follow them. Once you've gotten all the golden chests, you are then going to work on this quest, Alone in the Dark, which is a quest from Micah on the Lost City. With Micah's Alone in the Dark quest, you basically have to find a lost ghost in a lost sector, then you have to do Overthrow, and then after that you will actually unlock the mission called Cyst. Now there are 6 different one of these, and in each one of them you have to complete the Cyst, and then after that you can find a collectible inside that mission that helps you get closer to Khvostov. Yes, I mentioned you're gonna have to get into 6 different Cysts. Now with the Alone in the Dark quest line, step 1 through 7, that is going to send you into 1 Cyst, which means you have to do that entire quest line 6 different times. Now if you've already started it, that is perfect. Even if you haven't, that's okay. You're just gonna have to get through all 6 of these quest lines in order to get all the things you need for Khvostov. If you are unsure on how many cysts you've discovered, finish your Alone in the Dark quest, go back to Micah once she's ready to talk to you, and then before you pick up that next Alone in the Dark quest, hover over it and you can actually see a stat that says how many cysts you've discovered. If you've discovered all 6 of them, you're good to go. If not, then you're just gonna have to finish the quest line and keep repeating it until you have 6 out of 6. If you already have 6 out of 6 cysts without finding any of these collectibles, you can just relaunch them without having to do too much work. There are 3 locations on the map that shows you 2 of the cysts, which means 6 total. So in the landing in this area, the blooming in this area, and then in the impasse in this area, outside you will find 2 birds or even just 1 sitting there. Now you can activate a certain cyst by just activating the bird and following the bird's pathway inside. I hope that wasn't too confusing, but with these cysts there are collectibles inside, and I'm going to start showing you in every one of those missions of where the collectible is located. Alright, so starting in the landing area, we're gonna go over the sword dance cyst first, so make sure you activate it, go inside it, and once you have the sword, you're gonna clear out that very first room. Once you're in that secondary room, clear out the ads, and then you're actually just gonna follow this path downwards into this little room where you can find a collectible. Next, the second cyst in this location is the moth-infested cavern. Once you are inside this looking cave with that green plate on the top of the structure, drop down in the middle, and down below is going to be a closed cave with the collectible. Now we're going to go into the second area, which is the blooming. Just make sure you're activating one of these birds in order to go to the correct cyst. I'm going to show you the searing cyst next. So once you have defeated the boss and everything, you'll see that little, I don't even know what to call it, the little thing in the air. And then behind it, you'll see a purple glowing cave. Inside this cave is the collectible. The next cyst is called Slayer. Once you've defeated the boss, you're gonna go into one of the caves that has a tree in the middle of it. Just walk around the tree to be able to search for the collectible. And lastly, we're gonna go over to the impasse and start the birds over there to bring us to the last 2 cysts, starting with the aerial ace. Alright, so once you've made it to this area with the lava, you're gonna go find that purple crystal that's glowing really bright, and that is the indicator of where you have to go. And yes, you have to do some lava jumping. Just make sure you don't die. You're gonna do some lava jumping around the corner. Once you've made it to safety, the collectible is going to be inside this tiny cave to the right. And lastly, we're gonna find the collectible in Smothering Darkness. Once you have defeated everything, look for the big indicator of the purple crystal, walk inside that cave, drop down, and hug the right side to get the collectible. Now, if this was your final one, you should have gotten a legendary lost encryption bit dropped from the collectible. Now all you're gonna do is launch the impasse and then run past all of these cars in the beginning, go into this building, follow this pathway, and around the corner you'll eventually see this golden chest, and from that chest you will get the legendary Khvostov. Now to get the exotic Khvostov, you're gonna have to do a few more steps, starting with finding 8 of these travelers scattered all around the Pale Heart, and I'm gonna show you every single one of their locations. The first travel location is going to be in the Lost City, so fast travel there, run down to where Micah is located, but actually run past her and keep going until you come out to an area that looks like this. You are then going to jump over to a whole separate building, and then behind that building is a waterfall with a traveler. The second traveler is located in the landing area, so fast travel there and actually make a complete left turn, drop down, and right by the waterfall is the next one. Next, you're going to go fast travel to the blooming and go to the area that's called Refraction, which should be kind of the same area where the newest exotic mission is located. You're gonna go all the way through that area until you make it to this part where there's a big hole in the middle and cliffs and everything and a waterfall and a building on the other side. You're just gonna take this pathway to go all the way around it to get closer to it, drop down to the waterfall, and right on top of it inside this cave is the next one. Fast travel to the blooming one more time because there is another traveler. Once you make it to this giant doorway, and there's going to be a tree right next to it with a traveler on the very top where you're gonna have to climb on. I lied, that is not the last one in the blooming area. This time you're actually going to go inside the big doorway. Make sure you activate the bird for the Slayer Cyst mission. Go inside that mission, follow the bird. Inside, you're going to go inside the cave with that giant tree in the middle, and on the top left, there's going to be a cave that you can jump through for the traveler. The next one is going to be located in the Divide area, which is kind of at the top of the map. You can get there through the impasse. You're going to be climbing the snowy mountain to the very top. Once you've reached the very top, you can actually go inside this bunker, but we're not going to do that. We're actually just going to hop over to the left side behind the satellite to find a traveler. The last two travelers are going to be in the impasse. Fast travel there, make a left turn, and right next to that building, there's going to be a traveler on one of the pillars. The final traveler is going to be located in the transgression area. Go inside the building that leads to the transgression area. You are then eventually going to make it to this looking building that has a little structure inside in the middle. Jump on there, make a right turn to exit that building to a different area, and then just keep going straight until you see a glowing red light to the left, and behind that tree is the final one. After you have collected all those travelers, you're actually going to place them somewhere in the last city. Fast travel there and go to the area where the speaker used to be located. Here you'll find small pillars where you can place a traveler on each of them. Once you've done that, a golden chest will spawn right in front of you with the Exotic Khvostov in it. However, you may or may not be able to open it just yet. This was only to spawn in the chest. Now you actually have to get a key to open it. To get the key, you have to collect Mote of Light. For each of the travelers you have picked up, you should have gotten at least one Mote of Light, which should have been 8 of them, and now you have to get 9 more. To get the remaining of the Mote of Light, you're gonna have to defeat bosses from the Overthrow. Each area, the landing, the blooming, and the impasse, has 3 different bosses that you need to kill, and each boss drops a Mote of Light. However, there is one boss that's a bit glitched out and doesn't guarantee a drop. The landing area has the Lucent Hunter, Titan, and Warlock as a boss. The blooming has the Ogre, the Knight, and the Meatball. And in the impasse, you're gonna go against a Tormentor, a Stasis Subjugator, and a Strand Subjugator. Now it seems like that the Meatball boss is the one that's a little bit bugged out. He doesn't guarantee a Mote of Light to drop, so you might have to do it multiple times until you can actually get it to drop, unlike the other bosses. So if you have 15 out of the 17 motes, there is no way of saying which of the bosses you need, so you might have to grind multiple overthrows over and over until you can figure out which boss you have to kill. I know it's rough trying to figure out which bosses you need, but at least at the same time you can farm for some swords if you're still looking for some. And once you have the 17 Mote of Lights, you can go back to the speaker area on the last city and then turn in those Mote of Lights to open a chest for your Exotic Khvostov. And that is everything you need to know on how to get the Exotic Khvostov. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, and if you have any questions, definitely ask away down below. Thank you so much for watching. I will either see you in a future live stream on Twitch or in another video. Bye!